What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike, and today we're covering something I can't stress enough. Your controls, your settings, your camera view. Don't forget to do this. It's a video that I put together every year in terms of the best controller setups and important settings you should change if you want the best results in FIFA. If you enjoy the content, please drop a thumbs up. I know this helps people, because if you're new to FIFA, or even if you never thought to really adjust some of the settings, you're missing out. So help share it around a little bit. Also in the comments, let me know what your settings are looking like and what tutorial needs to get uploaded tomorrow. I'm talking about ASAP. Let's jump right into this. I'm going to explain everything I do. You're going to understand why I have air balls here, or why I have auto switch off, etc, etc. I got you. Let's roll. Here we are, and something worth mentioning: the more grind, the more effort, the more time you put into the demo, typically the quicker your adjustment's going to be to the real title. Now, FIFA Trainer, hide it or keep it off. Nobody wants the FIFA Trainer, it gets in the way. When we're looking at auto switching, I prefer air balls, but it's a-okay to be on manual. You just want to avoid auto. Auto is the devil in FIFA. You're going to be switching players all over the place. You're never going to grab the guys you need, and if you're in higher divisions, it's going to kill you. Don't know what auto switching is in terms of air balls only. Chip through ball, it'll switch you to the nearest player, or cross, it'll switch you to the nearest player. And that brings me to move assistance. And this deals a little bit with momentum, the direction you're already traveling in. I'm pretty comfortable playing with low, but you can mix this around. There's not a right or wrong way with the auto switching move assistance. It's all about your personal preference, what you get used to, but there is not a clear this is better, that is worse. It's just kind of how you could flow with everything. When we're looking at pass assistance, through balls, shooting, crossing, lobs, I like to keep it default. It's not an issue for me. Save assistance, semi, we're keeping everything on default. And this deals with when you're putting together your passes, how easy is it for you to hit somebody? You don't want to do this on manual unless that's a choice you chose to make. But if you just think that's going to be a better look for you, probably not. It's going to make the game a lot more difficult. It doesn't mean it's impossible. It doesn't mean you can't use it, but I would not start off on manual. If you're new to FIFA, don't do that to yourself. You're not going to understand why you're struggling, where other people have that pinpoint accuracy. And this year, through balls, ooh, they look dangerous. This brings me to an important piece of information: the analog sprint. Now, the default in FIFA is on. You got to turn that off. Analog sprint is never an advantage. Once again, I don't know anyone who actually plays with that. It just complicates the game, and not in a good way. It doesn't have a natural and organic feel. Turn that thing off. And then defending, tactical defending, pretty basic. Let's keep it moving. Let's check out the controller settings, and I keep everything on default when we're attacking. However, on the defensive side, I believe I make switches that if you take a little time, you get used to it. Ooh, it's going to change your game. Let me explain. Defense wins championships. That's a fact. And we're starting out with the classic defensive controls, but I'm going to make a couple swaps. Let me show you. So this contain button at A, that's a waste. Contain got worse in FIFA 17. And it's just not something I would recommend if you want to be a high-level FIFA player. It's just not used that much. It's not that common when you're looking at winning Division 1 titles every day of the week. And now we're going to move that to B, and then we're going to swap it with Teammate Contain. Now, Teammate Contain is the double team command. So now we have Tackle as A and Teammate Contain as B. That's very natural. They're right next to each other. And if you've played a lot of FIFA, you want to let up on one and then go with the other. So you bring the double team, then you pull it out. And then you get in there, you grab them a little bit with the tackle, and then you stop. So you need to be able to hit that A and B button constantly when you're defending and setting up your traps. And now we have pretty much nominated this RB, which is a button I don't even like using. It's a useless button because I don't use the contain at all. So I'm never touching RB now. We still got our change player. You got the jockey, you got the sprint, all your good stuff. All we did is make the preset a little bit easier. I believe this goes back to maybe FIFA 2008 in terms of setting. EA changed some things going forward in their title, but I like the old school way. And I think it's just a lot easier. You've played the game, then you know the camera view matters. And I liked using the default camera view last year for quite a while just because it looked better on camera. It looked nicer for YouTube videos. But that's not the way to success. So we're going to swap that tele broadcast, okay? And we're going to scroll down. We can put all these on tele broadcast if you want. We're going to scroll down, and this is really crucial that you go from default camera settings, and now we're going to hit custom. And for camera height, I like it to be a little bit taller, all right? Camera zoom, we're going to take it out a little bit. So I'm rocking a 2.17 or a 17.2, and I recommend that heavily. It's a good look, and you can move this around just a tad bit. So maybe you want a 15.4 or a 15.3, but tele-broadcast and maybe a little bit of some adjustment in your camera settings going to make a big difference. You see a little bit more of the pitch, your ping pong action gets better, your tiki-taka, ooh, your traps on defense. How you set up your team before you ever go into a match. Here we are doing this thing again. I talked about it in a video. Where did that come from? It's like a plus sign with my hands. The point I'm making is before you ever get into a game, your tactics, your formations, your settings, your controller, everything, it can put you in a better position to facilitate W's. You want to be in Division 1. You want to do FUT Champions. Well, this is what you got to do. Set this stuff up. Take a minute and get used to it. But if you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to hit a thumbs up. I really appreciate everything. Share it with your friends. A lot of people are interested in game settings, camera settings, controller settings, you name it. Some of my most frequently asked questions. But I'll have a lot more content come for you ASAP. I appreciate all the love and support. Give me on the social media icons. Lego.